In Luke 12, Jesus talks about a rich farmer who stores up treasures on earth but rejects God, so he's a fool. Now, when teaching, Jesus talks about farming a lot. Why? Well, it was actually estimated that in Jesus' day, 90% of people in the working force were in the farming industry, either as a landowner, a picker, or a processor. Now, farming was a year-long, tough job. First, there's the sowing and plowing begins in October. Then in February, they harvested the flax. Then in April, they harvested barley. And then throughout the summer, they gathered the grain harvest, the summer fruits and grapes, until August and September. And then they started back over again in October. Now, what's interesting is take a look at how the major festivals were linked with the farmer's annual cycle. For example, the Feast of Passover and leavened bread were celebrated at the beginning of the barley harvest. 50 days later came the Feast of Weeks, or Pentecost, when the wheat harvest began. Then the Feast of Tabernacles took place when the harvest was complete. Now, the three main crops in Israel were grain, grapes for wine and dried fruit, and then olives for oil. And even though the land of Canaan is the promised land, most of the land was actually pretty dry and arid. So to be a farmer back then, it was tough work, but hey, you got to eat. So there you go. A little bit about farming in the Bible, and that's enough today for our historical minute.